This is from NFL.com. Storylines that deserve more attention. And they say the Browns are sneaky contenders. The roster's in good shape. Off-season moves precisely geared at targeting weaker spots and avoiding short-term fixes. It's a sounder approach. They still managed to do well in the draft despite lacking first and second round picks. Let's welcome in Tom Withers from the Associated Press. Tom, nationally it seems like the Browns are starting to gather some more momentum as a quote-unquote sneaky contender. I think the folks that covered them regularly have kind of thought that pretty much all along. They're right in the mix in the AFC.
Yeah, sneaky is a good word. It's going to be interesting. You know, there's so much expectation after so much disappointment last year. So, yeah, I tend to agree with that storyline that they are kind of a little bit under the radar, if you will, especially, after last year when there was such a spotlight on them, obviously for many of the wrong reasons because of the Deshaun Watson situation. So, I think for them to really make noise, it's about, winning those division games and being competitive with Cincinnati and Baltimore. And let's not forget about those Pittsburgh Steelers who rarely put one bad year together, never mind two. So, I tend to agree that in some ways the Browns may be overlooked. And I do agree with the assessment that they did do a good job of addressing many of their needs in the offseason, despite not having any draft picks or any high ones.
Yeah, and, again, they got to go out and do it on the field. As you mentioned, the last 2 years, really, after making the playoffs, the last 2 years haven't been what anybody thought their roster would accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, the roster's one thing, but let's be honest, Dave, it gets down to the quarterback position, right? And in 2021, you had the Baker Mayfield injury early on, and that kind of snowballed into its own larger problem. And then obviously with the Beckham situation, on top of some other key injuries, on top of a tough schedule, on top of people not overlooking them as they had in the past. This was a different Browns team. And then last year, obviously, the Watson suspension shaped the entire season. And to not have your franchise quarterback on the field for 11 games, I'm not sure if any team in the NFL could withstand that. So it is time. And obviously the pressure has been ratcheted up this year, not only on Kevin Stefanski, but also on Andrew Berry in this front office, and frankly, also on ownership. That was a major move they made last year. It was an all-in move, and so it's all about number 4 and his development this year and going forward.